rumors surrounding James Harden are heating up, and now the Lakers are a team that keeps on being mentioned as a potential beer destination. But in today's video, I'm going to tell you why the Lakers and Rob Pelinka will not trade for James Harden. You're watching the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not interested in James Harden coming to the Lakers, and I don't think the Lakers and Pelinka and every decision maker, even LeBron, are interested in teaming up with James Harden. Look, I'll start off by saying this. James Harden is going to be a basketball Hall of Famer. He probably will be a first ballot Hall of Famer because when you average in over 1,000 games played in the association, 25 points per game, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and you do what he does. He's a multi-time scoring champ. He's got an MVP. He averaged almost a triple-double one year. I think he averaged like 35 points in the season one year. Look, James Harden is supremely talented, and if it wasn't for the all-worldly Golden State Warriors, he might have had a finals appearance or two and maybe even a ring to put on his resume. He's one of the best players in the league from 2013 to 2020. He's just not that guy anymore. Is he still a serviceable player? Yes. Can he still take over a ball game? Yes, we saw him do it twice in the playoffs against the Boston Celtics. But the thing is, can you win a championship with James Harden on your roster? I don't believe so. I want to ask this question, though. Should the Lakers pursue a James Harden trade? On paper, I'm not going to lie to you. On offense, James Harden, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis sounds pretty dang good. I think the Lakers could benefit from another playmaker that could take the ball out of LeBron's hands from time to time. On 2K, this team would be elite, but I think they should do it in real life. Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm going to go through 5 reasons why James Harden will not be traded to the Lakers. First, the assets. Look, the way the Lakers roster is shaped up, they have a lot of guys that have some exceptions on being traded. They have to wait a certain amount of time. The vast majority of the Lakers tradable players cannot be moved until, I think it's December 11th or 21st when that first initial deadline is, as well as January 15th due to contract extensions, due to signing players in free agency. Look at this. You have your unmovable players right here. D'Angelo Russell, he can't be moved. Rui Hachimura, he can't be moved. Austin Reeves, he can't be moved. Gabe Vincent can't be moved. Taurean Prince can't be moved. Pretty much everybody on the Lakers roster, except for LeBron James and Anthony Davis, pretty much cannot be moved due to these things. And Anthony Davis can't be moved either because the extension that he signed this offseason. You can't trade someone that signed an extension for 6 months, and 6 months after he signed is before the NBA trade deadline. So the only real asset, that the Lakers could move on from is LeBron James. And as we know, that is not happening. I'll get into more reasons why the Lakers will not trade for James Harden, even though some of you may want that. But first, I got to tell you guys about our proud sponsor, Prize Picks. If you enjoy playing fantasy sports and you want to play daily fantasy sports and win real money while having the ability to withdraw the cash out of your account, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use that promo code CLNS. And Prize Picks is going to match your initial deposit up to $100. So if you put $100 in your account at prizepicks.com/CLNS using promo code CLNS, Prize Picks is going to match it. You'll have $200 to play with. And it's super easy to play, and it's super easy to fun. It's super fun to play. I'll break it down to you right here. You create a lineup of 2 to 6 players. Prize Picks is going to set a number on a stat for every single player, pretty much for every single night. They already have some season-long stat totals for the Los Angeles Lakers out there. You create a lineup from 2 to 6 players. The more players you have, the higher your payout is going to be. Think LeBron James is going to average more than 27.1 points per game this year? Click more. If you think AD is going to average more than this, select more. If you think it's less, it's less. It's up to you. You're not playing sharks. You're not playing computers. You're not playing 1,000 other people. It's just you versus the numbers in the stat line that Prize Picks selects. So get started today. Be ready to rock and roll for opening night in less than 6 days. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS. It'll be clickable in the comments and description. Number 2, upsetting the apple cart. For the first time in a long time, the Lakers have good chemistry. They're extremely deep. I think when you talk about 1 to 12, the Lakers are a top 5 team in the NBA. And that's being generous to the other teams in the league. They may be top 3 when it comes to 1 to 12 on this roster. And I love the chemistry that they're finally starting to build. You have another season of LeBron in Austin Reeves. You're bringing back Rui Hachimura. You're bringing back a lot of other players. And I like the additions as well. And I think those guys are going to fit. LeBron does best when he has team chemistry. And I think this is the season that the Lakers can finally put it together. I love the roster they put around him. And look, James Harden's a good player. At the end of the day, I don't want to trade some of these young guys that may be able to actually keep the Lakers relevant when LeBron is gone for a guy that seems like he wants to throw money in a strip club more than win an NBA Finals. And the fact is, like, who's to say this time next year, let's say the Lakers trade for James Harden today. Who's to say this time next year he doesn't request a trade? Because what does he do? He plays there for 2 years and he requests a trade. He did it when he wanted to go from Houston to Brooklyn. He did it when he wanted to go from Brooklyn to Philly. And now he wants to go from Philly to Los Angeles. Not the Lakers, the Clippers. He's just a headache, man. It's almost a migraine at this point. Like, the dude's talented. We know that. But outside of, like, all of that, he's also not a great primetime playoff player. Like, he's just not. He's had some big games, had some big moments, but historically, I would say James Harden is the guy that comes up smallest in the biggest moments. And for a team that's pushing for another Larry O.B., I don't want to add that type of guy. You already have him. His name is D'Angelo Russell. We will be live for Lakers vs. Nuggets on opening night on the channel. A little watch party for Laker Nation. So if you want live commentary, highlights, stats, analysis, and to have a good time hanging with the squad, subscribe and turn your notifications on, and we'll see you opening night. Jokic, we're coming for you. He's 34 years old. James Harden is 34 years old. His best days not only are behind him, they're 5 years ago. He's not that guy anymore. 34 years old. And do you really just want to put together the oldest big three in the league? LeBron's 39. AD's going to be 30. And the Lakers don't need to add an over-the-hill player for Harden. If you are going to make an all-in trade, Rob Pelinka, which you would actually have to do if you do trade for James Harden, but it wouldn't even be till December like we've talked about, do it for someone that can continue to get better, that can continue to elevate their game, and continue to grow into a player that could potentially be a number one option. James Harden ain't doing that anymore. And he's an expiring contract. Like, if you trade for James Harden, he's going to want a contract extension. He's going to want to be extended. He wants a max deal. That's what he wants. That's why he's requesting a trade. You ain't getting max money anymore, homie. There's a reason the Rockets paid Fred VanVleet $40 million and wouldn't even give you a max deal. Fred VanVleet hasn't even shot 40% in each of the last 2 years. If the Lakers really want James Harden, they can sign him in free agency next year. Don't give up the assets. Don't ruin this team's chemistry. And just don't make a dumb move, because that's what it would be. Trading for James Harden would be a dumb move. Now, signing him in free agency, I don't think next year in 2024 is the worst idea in the world. I also don't think it's the best one. What do you think? Would you sign James Harden in free agency next summer? As for sign Pete for pass, I'm curious. Last point that I've made through all four of these stops. They don't need him. They just don't. They're good at the guard spot. I want to see Austin Reeves become that guard on this team. You know LeBron is going to take on most of those playmaking responsibilities, ball handling responsibilities. But I am really bullish on what Austin Reeves is going to do this year. I think he's the guy that could be in the most improved player of the year. He's already here. We know who he is. But it's going to be one of those situations where, like, we knew Ja was that guy, and then Ja took a step from being like a star to like a borderline superstar. And I think Austin Reeves could be go from a really good player to a borderline star. I think he's the guy that we're going to look back, and we may already say this. He's the bona fide third best player on this team. And he can once again take his game to another level in the playoffs. I want to see him do it. I don't hate D'Angelo Russell. I just don't think he's a great playoff player. I like the yin and yang duo of Vincent and Russell. And Max Christie, you just keep the benches warm, my guy. Harden is not a significant upgrade. He's just really not. If it was 5 years ago, sure. Look, he's one of the best players this league has seen at putting the ball in the basket when he wore that red jersey down in H-Town. That guy's long gone. His jersey's actually retired in a couple strip clubs down there, so not that guy anymore. I don't want him. I hope you guys don't want him, but if you do, tell me why I don't know ball in the comments section. As always, just want to say thanks to the Lakers Report gang out there for hanging out with us for a couple of minutes. We'll be back tomorrow, potentially, with another video.